Yo, happy Friday. Hey. Oh man. Um, First and foremost, man, hello, welcome. Thank you whenever you decide to tune in. We appreciate that. Made in the 1980s, I believe it's episode four. Episode four, Fast Food Slander. I think is the name of the episode. It should be live for you all. So check it out, man. We are funny, myself and Wang Dang, you know what I'm saying? Wang Dang Doodle. And also Lexi with the curls. She is also making her a guest appearance on our show as well. Fast Food Slander, made in the 1980s, available everywhere. So if you got Spotify, if you got YouTube, even you'll see the video tomorrow. And if you got Apple Podcasts or Spotify, it's available right now. Been available all morning. Well, most of the morning, but you've been preoccupied with J. Cole, and that's okay. We'll talk about J. Cole later. I want a quick ISO on me because I'm having very cool and dope group chat conversations, and it reminded me of something that I've been meaning to talk about for a little while now. Hey, listen, the following content is for me, by me, and I hope you enjoy it or not. At the end of the day, I'm just another rap nerd, and you can like this or not. But please, although music is subjective, have some facts with your opinion, no matter how you choose to express it, right? All right, so I got here 5 albums. I got my notes here. 5 albums that I feel changed the way we look at the hip-hop classic. The hip-hop classic at one point was all about, oh, it ain't got no skips. Oh, it's the hardest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, you know, it was basically how many singles had hit, right? Or who was rapping, who we felt rapped the best. That was a lot of times what the hip-hop classic was centered around. And maybe, just maybe, it never really was that, you know, especially as we are in 2024. I think that goalpost has been moved a lot. I think lyricism, the idea of lyricism has moved a lot. What is a great storyteller? What is a hit record? All those things have changed, but some things remain tried and true, and I'm going to talk about them. As I give this list, I want some facts out there, okay? Yes, I'm going to give you my opinion, but here are some facts about music, specifically hip-hop music, rap music, and those albums that lie in it, right? First fact is that The Source debuted in 1998. That was the very first issue of The Source. It was in 1988. Why that is important? Because although they did update it, I want to say like in 2002, you know, Paid in Full and like The Great Adventures of Slick Rick and Raising Hell by Run DMC, those were not the first 5 mic heralded rap classics, right? Because The Source wasn't around and it did not exist in. It was just something that universally the culture decided, like, yo, we rock with these albums. We rock with these guys and girls. And that's just what it was. So The Source dropping in 1988, first issue 1988, is very important because also we got to talk about the 2 albums that were deemed 5 mic classics. I think that's important to understand here because of the conversations that happen very often about who is or isn't hip hop and what is for the streets and for the people and all this, that, or whatever. Listen, fact, the 2 albums that were given 5 mics in The Source was A Tribe Called Quest, People's Instinctive Travels and the Path of Rhythm, and Ice Cube's America's Most Wanted. So boom, there's the bar. There's the bar. It don't matter how tough you are or how earthy you are. Those are the 2 albums that were the first 2 classics by The Source. And that was the hip hop Bible at one point, especially in the 90s. They both got their mic ratings in 1990. It cannot be disputed. I'm a big Tribe fan, love and respect for Ice Cube. So listen, that is where we sit. So off top, anything that you are saying that is saying, oh, well, streets wouldn't fucking with it. It don't matter. The first album to ever get 5 mics in the source was A Tribe Called Quest, People's Instinctive Travels in the Paths of Rhythm. That's what it was. And then they totally 180 and gave America's Most Wanted by Ice Cube 5 mics as well in real time. They didn't have to go back in 2002 or 2022 and bump up the mics like they did for other albums over time. That's literally what happened. So, with that being said, a lot of rap has happened. A lot of hip hop albums have happened. I'm going to sip some water. A lot of these albums have happened, and I feel that the 5 albums I'm going to mention here, I'm going to do them in order of time. I'm going to tell you what these albums are, who these albums are by, and why I feel that they are the reason why we have been constantly moving the goalpost on what is or what isn't a hip hop classic album. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's go 1998. Let's go 1998. The first album that I feel changed the way we view a hip hop classic album. You guessed it. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill by Lauryn Hill. Now, why? Because it wasn't until recently that y'all finally accepted that this was an R&B album. It won the best R&B Grammy. It gets no R&B than that, but because Lauryn Hill has the ability to rap, and because, this is who we want young girls to really be like. Like, we did that backhanded thing to Foxy and Kim while bigging up Lauryn Hill. And so, and even though this album, as far as I saw, didn't have a source mic rating because, it's an R&B album, but still, Lauryn Hill is hip hop. The album is dope. It wasn't really the first time, because if you bought Missy Elliott Super Duper Fly, it's not the first time somebody has rapped and sang on the album before. But this was the one that was impactful. Obviously Lauryn was in the Fugees. The Score is a dope album. And but when she went solo, which is what everybody wanted, she literally sung half the album and rapped about half the album. Now, why this is in this list is because this album has been heralded so high that not only are people waiting for the sequel to this, they want the follow-up to this album. This album is so good that people are not even accepting the albums and the projects and the songs that Lauryn Hill has dropped after it. Like, we have this very skewed thing that says, Lauryn only dropped an album in 98. No, because Miss Hill was an album that came out, I think it was 2008, I want to say. And there have been other songs, there have been other EPs, there have been other albums. Now, maybe they got scrapped, maybe you can't find them on the internet anymore, but they do exist. They do exist. And I gave them a shot. And it didn't sound like Miseducation, but we keep saying we put Lauryn Hill, many of you put Lauryn Hill in your top 5s and top 10s for not only women, but for rappers, period. And it's all on the back of this album. And it makes you think, why? So now when younger artists hear that, do they not then proceed? It's they think this is classic, and she's saying, and she rap on half of it. And she got writers and producers and all of this. And they herald this, that this is what they want, right? Let's move on. Let's go to the year 2000. Now, 2000 is interesting because there's 2 albums here that exist. Let's start with the first one. And this is the ultimate. This is still the goalpost move of all moves for me. And I can't believe some of the conversations I got into over this album. The Marshall Mathers LP by Eminem, May 2000. Yeah, it's 2 weeks after my birthday or something like that, it dropped, or a little bit less. When the Marshall Mathers LP dropped, it was the first time a rap album in my time, it was the first time a rap album had went #1 The lead vocalist, the rapper, is going crazy lyrically. And it was the first time I heard anybody pushing back on the actual content of the album. Very first time, I promise you, from Please Hammer, Don't Hurt Him until the Marshall Mathers LP, I never heard anybody questioning the content of a rap album ever until the Marshall Mathers LP dropped. It was the, oh man, well, I don't do drugs. I don't be popping pills. Or it was, man, he hate his mom. I don't know if I can listen to a dude that hate his mom. And I'm tired of hearing about Haley, his daughter. I don't want to hear that no more. Yo, he made a song about killing this girl and drowning her or burying her or something like that. And I was like, oh, so we're policing that, but the rappers that sold crack to their moms and now they siblings are crack babies, that don't matter. We jive with that. That we rock into that, but we can't talk about this white guy who hates his mom and wants to kill his girl. Present day, look at the news, Google Florida man, do whatever you need to see clout chasing, and you'll find a lot of black people living a lot of these Eminem lyrics that we say we don't jive with. Just throwing that out there. It was the very first time. And, also, the war with Benzino and Eminem kind of starts with this album because they give it like a 4. They give it a 4 out of 5 or something crazy like that. I'm sorry, I didn't look up this information. He got like a 3.5 or a 4 for the Marshall Mathers LP. And they were like, yo, this is insane. Like, this dude can really rap, and obviously the Interscope engine does what it does. So it's not to say that, they had to think it was the greatest invention since the condom or sliced bread, but it does not quite make sense for all of his rap songs to be on every single chart. He sells millions of records, but yet we got, hey, look, the core demo. The core demo is black men, 18 to 34, that are like, nah, I'm later for this. I don't really like Eminem. So now, right? So that was number 2. So now you got the Marshall Mathers LP drop in 2000. Looking back, we call it classic. But then look what happens later in the year of 2000. Nelly drops Country Grammar. So now, even if we were all on the same page when the Marshall Mathers LP dropped, here comes Nelly with Country Grammar, and now we're divided. And I ain't gonna front. I was a part of this. I was a catalyst of this. I was super backpacker rap nerd, and Nelly wasn't hip hop to me, right? What's all this singing about? Even though we're letting Lauryn Hill rock. It's 3 years later. She's won like 7 Grammys, like she's 7 million songs, like everything is happening. Everything is happening in 2000. And I'm like, oh, but Nelly ain't hip hop. And not only with that, it takes a hip hop legend like KRS-One to catch him between Country Grammar and Nellyville to be like, nah, this is trash. Get this up out of here. We don't want to deal with this. So now look, so now Nelly's album gets 3.5 mics in the source. So now, here's the deal. Midwest artist, brand new to the scene, obviously has a lot of energy surrounding, having to make it out of St. Louis. Like, he's the first major rap act out of St. Louis. And I mean major, like national/global. He becomes with this first album, the debut album. And the source gives it 3.5 mics. Backpackers and just, no, you know what? Hip hop kind of decides that Nelly really isn't hip hop, but it's in the rap section. It's in the rap section. So, why is it not a rap album if he's rapping and he's on Rap City? His friends all rap. Yeah, He's doing a little crooning and tuning to it. Hey, but listen, we letting Ja Rule cook. Again, this is 2000. You don't hate Ja Rule yet. You don't hate him yet. You love DMX. And DMX is absolutely singing on As Dark as Hell is Hot and on Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. He's singing on some records. So we don't necessarily hate singing and rapping. We just seem to hate when Nelly do it. And look, again, I was guilty of it. I'm sorry. But that's what happened. And you know what? That album goes on to go diamond. That album goes on to go diamond. It's selling millions at a clip in real time. And not only that, it's also putting a whole new city on the map. Everything about Country Grammar performance-wise is a classic, but we don't necessarily, put our arms around the album and say, yo, this is ours. This is what we do, right? So now I'm 3 albums in, right? For everybody that's just tuning in, and thank y'all for tuning in. Look, I already said the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, 1999. 1998. Sorry, can't read my words. Marshall Mathers LP, 2000. Nelly, Country Grammar, 2000. So we're 3 albums deep, and we're only covering 2 years of hip hop at this point. Let's get to the fourth one. The fourth one, you're gonna love this. I'm gonna blow my nose, but I'm gonna mute. Ah, man. The fourth one, Outkast. Speaker Box, The Love Below. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, listen. Again, dope album. Super dope album. Both sides, Speaker Box and The Love Below. There's no reason to dislike these albums, especially not this one. But this is when we really jumped out the window and moved the goalpost for real, like forever. This is when Asterix was like a thing, because Big Boy obviously is like, yo, I still get busy. I'm about to rap. Y'all about to hear some of the hardest, smoothest, pimp playerish raps I got on Speaker Box. And then Dre literally said, man, I'm going to do what I feel like doing. And I don't care what you think about it. And, even though you can't buy them separately, people start saying The Love Below was better than Speaker Box. And to be clear, it's packaged as the hip hop album because Outkast is a hip hop group. So I have no qualms about that. But the album that we're saying is the better of the 2 albums as a collective has 1 rap verse on it. And it's not from the guy whose album it is. Be clear. Listen to it right now if you're uncertain. The only person that raps on The Love Below is Big Boy. That's it. And it's on Roses. That's the only rap verse on The Love Below. So all the rapping gets done by Big Boy on Speaker Box, The Love Below. But fast forward. What do we do when people say, oh, well, 3K ain't never dropped a solo album? They be like, oh, but The Love Below. They be like, but he don't rap on it. But ain't Prototype on there? Ain't Hey Ya on there? And it's like, ain't Roses on there? I was like, but he don't rap on Roses. Again, ultimate goalpost move forever. Not saying that the album is not dope, because it is. But here's the deal. Every time we collectively say something is hip hop or not, and it don't follow the rules that we set, you automatically open up the genre, you automatically open up the discussion, you automatically open up everything possible under the realm of just music now, which is not a bad thing. It's just where you end up being when these conversations take place. So now we've gotten all the way to 2003. 4 albums that have definitely changed how we view the hip hop classic forever. Because listen, I'm gonna say it off top. Whether I like these albums in real time or not, whether I purchase these albums in real time or not, I've named 4 classic albums. And hey, if nothing else, in Black music, I've named 5 classic albums. I've named The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I've named the Marshall Mathers LP, and he white, but I know what I said about Black music. I said Nelly, Country Grammar, and now I said Outkast, the Speaker Box Love Below album. So what is the album that definitely changes it? Now, what is the death blow to how we view classic hip hop albums? You got to guess? You think you know? Let me tell you. I love this part. All right, check it out. Check it out. Check it out. The last album, number 5, is from a guy who was on a mission to, one, just to be heard to rap. And then he wanted to prove that he was one of the best rappers, and then the best rapper. And not above controversy, not above doing things to move the needle and raise the bar. But this effort right here, it wasn't one for the backpackers. It wasn't one for the nerds. It was the one that says, hey, yo, from now on, I do what I want to do too. And you can't do anything about it. That album is Kanye West, 808s and Heartbreak. The reason why 808s and Heartbreak is on this list is because this is the album that you definitely understand who Kid Cudi is. And he's always done this hybrid of kind of like music, right? This is the album that's the overly excessive auto-tune, and there's a lot of singing and melody and depression and anxiety and loss and just like hurtful content on the album, right? All the things that a lot of rappers are not covering, and it's going mainstream. Okay. Now, with that though, Amazing is on this album, and Jeezy's on Amazing, and Heartless is on this album, and yeah, he's kind of singing, but he's rapping, and honestly, Love Lockdown it's a rap song, right? It's a rap song. But hey, this is also the album that inspires Lil Uzi Vert to have a music career, you know? And that's his words, not mine. I'm not saying that just to say it. That there is a total generation of people, of artists that exist right now in the music space because of 808s and Heartbreak. And they are using the auto-tune, and they are talking emo and tapping into and feelings and mental health and all these other things because of this album. And it was in the rap section. It wasn't an alternative. They didn't call it pop. It was a rap album. That's what it was packaged as. And it was rappers on it. So you know what? It ain't hip hop, rap, whatever, what have you. It's not that. It's just that, yo, this ain't college dropout. This ain't late registration. This ain't graduation. Like, what you doing? What you doing with this? So when he drops this, now everything happened. And then he just doubled down after 808s and Heartbreak, took a hiatus, and then came back and did My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is definitely more rapping on there. But look, the standard has already been set. Drake's already here now. Drake is so far gone, is already here, and Thank Me Later is on the way. It's a wrap for rap albums being rap albums anymore once 808s and Heartbreak drop. And again, it's not a bad thing, but you know, as I watch all of you argue and give your thoughts and opinions and views on, Cole, Kendrick, Drake, the Big Three, Big Sean, Wale, Crit, everybody, as I watch all of that happen, we were having the conversation. The thread is like, yo, you know what? We need subgenres in hip hop. It's like, well, what we do, we have. It's just that when it's time to win awards, when it's time to win Grammys, we argue. When it's time to figure out who's actually the best rapper, and we want that art shit out the window, now it's difficult for us. That's what it is. So saying all of that to say that those are the 5 albums that changed the hip hop classic. Listen, for your honorable mention purposes, I didn't put like Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him in there because, hey, again, the source didn't rate it or rank it. And I think maybe because of time. Who knows? But again, if you look at it, That's now we're going back to the late 80s, early 90s, when we, the Black delegation, are divided on what's hip hop and what isn't. Shoot, hey, listen, for honorable mention purposes, two more albums I'll throw out there to y'all: Lil' Kim, The Naked Truth, and Bun B, Trill. Those albums got 5 mics in the source. Yeah. The album that proved that Lil' Kim ain't no snitch and she got to go to jail, and the damn Pimp C Just Died, I Hope Bun Is Okay album. Those are the ones. They got 5 mics, and I think that's what closed the door. No, I think My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is the one that closed the door on that. And by that time, Kanye West is just having studio sessions. And now we're questioning if he writes his raps. Got 5 mics. Again, everything in music, hip hop, rap, whatever you want, everything that exists in here is not new. We just moved the goalposts for who we like. But it's not going to change what actually happened and what actually happens. And now we are in a space, whether you hard body, hardcore rap fans like it or not, now your rap albums better have a fire melodic hook on it. Look, even Conway the Machine is adding melodies to his raps. He one of the hardest people in the world. And, listen, yeah, Wang, my counterpart here, it is subjective, but be clear. Even when subjectivity comes into play, there is still a looming, lingering layer of fact. Some things are just factual. Tomorrow is Saturday. That's a fact. It may be the best of your life. It may be the worst of your life. You may get a nice paycheck. You might get some pussy. You might land in jail. Yeah, it's subjective, but it don't change the fact that tomorrow is Saturday. That's rap music. That's rap music right here. It's like, yo, hey, you like the Cole album? Yeah, I think it's pretty dope. You like this? I mean, it was cool. Oh, man, shit was trash. Oh, man, I think it was serviceable. Don't change the fact that it's out. Don't change the fact that it's worth listening to, and then you can draw your own opinion. So, yeah, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's we get too wrapped up into, oh, well, it's my opinion. But dog, your opinion can be like, we have a lot of opinions about a lot of facts that exist. It's a political season. You're going to see a lot of facts getting thrown out there, and people are going to have their opinion about it. That's how this really works. It can't just be all in on, oh, this is all fact or this is all opinion, because you got to conjure up the thesis and the information, and you have to come up with a complete thought from somewhere. The thoughts don't get put in your mind without the information. What y'all think? I enjoyed that. I love being a rap nerd for y'all. I ain't gonna lie. This is made in 1980s bonus content, man. We'll be back later on. We might do an episode that probably won't drop for 2 weeks, so I shouldn't even tease that. We most likely will be on live again, so you'll see me back doing what I do. And man, hey, listen, appreciate y'all stepping in. I mean, I know it's Friday. Y'all not working like me, even if you ain't at work. Nah, appreciate that. Yo, hey, feel free to, give your thoughts, your opinions, your comments, your views on this live stream and this video. I'm open to it. But hey, listen, watch your mouth. I'll slap the shit out you. Hey, man, catch y'all later. It's love.